Hey guys, we're going to look at a game I played against a student. When I play with students, it's extremely rare that we play an actual competitive game. Correct handicap, no talking, just it's quite rare. Uh, we're either looking at things or reviewing things or whatever. Uh, but when we're going to have a competitive game, kind of like testing, then there's the two ways. There's handicap, which is 10 to 20% of the time will be handicap games, but 80-90% of the time will be reverse combing. And it's an idea that's kind of important. So let's just discuss this reverse combing thing. So we play a game, and black has n number of points in his back pocket. And n goes anywhere from whatever up to, I played as high as 100. Matter of fact, there was a husband-wife team. They were new students and just starting out. They wanted to play a competitive game, so I gave them both a 100-point reverse combing. And I beat the husband, but the wife beat me by 2 points. And she was so delighted, and she never let her husband hear the end of it, Pretty funny. So this guy's anywhere from 5Q to 1 Dawn, depending on, he's just learning the stuff. So this is a 40-point reverse combing, and this is our third or fourth attempt, and he's trying to get that under control. Now, the thing about reverse combing, let's just look at this. I'm trying to get white to, let's do it this way. White, black, white, black, white. Okay. A should be at B. There's a lot of reasons it should be at B. It's an immediate loss of, let's say, 3 points of value. Well, if you've got 40 points in your back pocket, 3 points isn't much of a loss. And white still has a healthy, strong group. And the board is still balanced, meaning white doesn't get some huge moil somewhere. Actually, I should be making this as black, but white's the one that made the mistake here. Okay. Now, if we go differently, white goes this far, I come in, white attacks me and tries to chase me, and I end up killing the group. Well, instead of a 3-point loss, it could be a 15-point loss. In other words, if you collapse, it's like, don't collapse. If you collapse, we'll just start over. That's a loss. So if you make, in each Joseki, you make a mistake, losing between 2 and 5 points, no problem. So it get your groups healthy, maintain health, do some basic fighting well. So that's reverse combing, and it's hard to do against a stronger player. Okay, so let's see how it went. White. Okay, so far black's being is all perfect. No problems yet. Here, fifth line is terrible for points. And it's not time to be attacking severely. So probably here. So he's got this nice move. Will it be a problem? Will he collapse? Well, first I have to get my group healthy, and I come in for the corner's big and some life. But on top of that, we can imagine if white succeeds here somehow, which would be much later, then maybe the corner will die because he's cut there. I mean, so there's a future is what I'm saying. Okay. Then here. Now, this looks reasonable. Perhaps this is better, but he wanted security and actual points rather than efficiency and hopeful points. But anyway, but this was another mistake. Um, he has said two things on this board. First thing he said was here. This says, I want the right. Okay. Well, if we make good this, his statement, then here, right? He's building the right just like he said. So it fits. Okay. The other thing he said was, I want the bottom. Okay. Well, how about here, a threatening move? I respond. Here, threatening to surround, I get out. That bottom is working itself very well. A lot of things to do next to consider how to deal with the bottom appropriately. But those would be the two directions. He goes back on, I don't want to say goes back on his word, that's not right. But he's like, this doesn't fit with anything he said. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. That's a standard way for white to begin to deal with the right side. No problem. Okay. In here, certainly makes sense. It's a healthy stone and stops white from doing anything large here. This is certainly understandable. We have to think of it as okay. This move for white, I actually looked at length and couldn't find any next move. I looked and looked and couldn't find anything. This sort of thing, well, that black move is sente, I've got to come back, which is gote. I mean, it's just anything I do on the left doesn't work out. So I'm like, I was really where to play. And then finally I go, oh, well, that's silly. That's obvious. My A stone is ready to connect under. And if he stops me, I live and or attack black. So it's actually very straightforward. I just couldn't find it. But that's a key statement. First, I searched for the move. I didn't just play whatever crossed my mind. It's something key players do all the time. Oh, I'll just play A. I'll just play A. Well, yeah, possible, but it's not necessary. So search for your move. First, don't just put a move down. Search. And then I had to try. This was probably my fourth attempt looking at the board. I couldn't find it. Once I found it, obvious. But I had to try and then try again and then try again. So search for moves and stay with it. I didn't want him connecting under or over, so this stops him. I didn't want to jump. I'm not saying it's the wrong move, but there's all sorts of weaknesses here that allow black to connect under, or at least it looks like there could be. So I got rid of the weaknesses. It was my choice. And then connect under. Okay. So black's got to keep his eye on the A group. As long as he does that, everything will be fine. Hane. In gote. Uh-uh. I'll just cut you. That's not keeping your eye on it. So just jump out, right? And any sort of cut, there's no cut. Okay. Now, if I don't do anything, I got nothing but weaknesses. So I go ahead and capture the black stone, and it's not small. I think this seems right. As I come up, it starts to threaten black group and helps me on the left. Same. And then everything has helped. I didn't look at all the specifics, but good for everything. He cuts here, but there was a sense that he didn't know why he was doing it. I mean, what's the goal here? Hard to say. So I just do my Ataris. Don't Atari, because now the cutting stone is dead. Instead, don't, and now I can run out. It's a living, I can live with my cutting stone. A lot of Q players miss that. They say, oh, an Atari, a free move. But I'd much rather just run out. That's a big play. He plays here, which sets up ladders and nets and everything. Okay. I wouldn't. I would, what, here maybe? Hard to say. I don't want to just capture, but anyway, here. Finally, now what I want to do now, you look around, white's great now everywhere. Nothing really to attack, other than I want to attack this whole thing. And it would probably start here. But the problem is my corner's not great, and he can play Sente moves against it. So, okay, step one, get strong in the corner, which is big. Just by itself, it's big. And now I'm ready to come in and start. Place here. And I come. That's a weak way, but it's hard to find a good way. Maybe once, so there's not all those cuts. And then here, there's less cuts now. And so, or further apart or something. Here I'm looking at, shall I run out? Shall I try to run over A and B? And all I saw was 4 stupid white stones that really can't do anything. They're just sitting there. They can't attack anything. They can't grow anything. Forcing moves. That's what they are. I forced black down to the second line and the third line, and his whole situation is much smaller. So they've done a good work already. Good forcing moves and give them up. That's generally what you do with forcing moves. So I'm going to give them up. Continue to threaten his corner. I mean, diminish his corner. I never liked that he's got these moves here, right? This is so annoying. He's getting bigger, I'm getting smaller. So I decided to get rid of that. And he goes after the stones that I want to give up. That's a big mistake. Notice his whole A group undercut, actually behind enemy lines. They don't have two eyes. But he's thinking, yeah, but the B stones are much heavier. Well, that's true, but I don't want the B stones. He goes after them. I come on in. Here I was ready to start attacking. And I realized that this is all his sente. I mean, he's just alive already. So I had to stay here and cut, not to start a fight. Why not? Let's add the black stone. We'll talk about that black stone in a minute, but let's notice how far away A is from B. I can't get over there, so I can't fight. But his answer is going to tell me what I do want to do. Okay, let's look at Black's next move. The entire A situation, it's alive with a whole bunch of black stones. There's a lot of black stones there. He adds another one. They don't need anything. Quite can't capture that black stone. It has zero needs. The beat group, they have needs. They desire more black stones. So Atari and still get out, and I still can't capture that cutting stone. What am I going to do? I can't capture it. Yikes. And black's almost alive now. That would have been better. I place here. So I want B to get over to A. That's what I want, to chase that group. I can't get there. Then let's start a fight in this area. And I will either do something good here. For instance, if I make the A group alive, then what did the B group do? It's a lost stone. He played a whole move. They didn't do anything. If my A group lives, well, that's a real positive for me. Or else I get to work with my C stone. He plays here. Threaten, and then over. Over. I don't mind this move. Without this, I'll come back and use my Aji pretty well. Start in here, reducing his center and looking at A and eventually looking at B, which B lives, by the way, later. There's Aji here. This move is not bad. He's looking at that group on the left thinking, I don't feel that strong over there. And when he plays it, it's points times 2, because if white plays there in virtual Sente, white gets points. So we see area 1 developing. We can see a lot of good things about this move. Reducing white's area, building the A area. Yeah. But it's kind of thin. Right next to thin. If he were to tighten it up, it's still doing the main job, of limiting White's area. And now that he's strong, he can start jumping wider. Here, double. Now he had misread this. I had to read it out because it looked pretty nasty. But once he does this, then I can play here, and the two stones are dead one way or another. So that cost him a bit. Grab his corner and start to cut. So this cut is bringing up aerial 1 is big. Getting the 2 stone in motion, hurting the 3 stone. So there's a lot going on here. And he fixes on the wrong side. If he fixes on this side, I can't cut, but I can play here. Well, that's not huge. Here, he leaves a cut. Ouch. That's valuable. Double. Okay, now I want to come down here and claim my center. Problem is, I can't deal with this. One of these white stones is going to die. So I'm forced to settle my group, and this isn't Sente because his health is not at risk. And any points I'm threatening, like 5, just end game. But I was really hoping that he would go, oh, that's my main area. I've got to take those points. And he did. He fell for it. So I got both. And that puts White ahead. It's all straightforward stuff. No surprises. A little bit of Aji here. I thought the board looked like this. So let's put that stone down. So Atari, Hane. If he does this, it's Ko for the whole bottom, really. And so we can't play that Ko. But I don't have a white stone there. So I threw in, played this side. There's almost no difference, but I think just taking's a better form than here. What I didn't realize, can't I play this anyway? If he cuts, Atari. Now this is assuming I win the Ko. Take, Atari, Atari. So I can still play the Ko. I didn't realize that during the game. I had my mind set. If I did this, I had my mind set up here. So if he saves, I kill his, do I? If he says Atari, this doesn't kill. So I have to save, then he says Atari. Okay, so it doesn't work. He thought it did. I thought it did. And I think that's it. Let's just make sure that's true. Yeah, just in game from there. Okay, so I hope some of the things he was thinking, some of the things he wasn't sure about, help you to see that in your game, maybe some perspectives of how to deal with that next time. Okay, guys, catch you next time. Bye.